Hey everybody, it's Bus, continuing our playthrough of the Path of Champions. Today, we're taking on the 1-star quest, the Fae Sorceress, going out to battle with Lulu, and using our 4-star, or 1-star, level 4 Aatrox. And so, to get you familiar with Aatrox, the star powers, when an equipped ally strikes, you reduce the cost of a random card in our hand by 1. It's a very equipment-heavy deck, and this allows us to play expensive units like Aatrox before the game is over. If you remembered our gameplay with Ornn, we just never played him. And so Aatrox is able to be relevant with cards like the Infernal Chains. For our Relic, we are on the common Relic. We're just using the Armadillo Shell. Gives him 1 health and tough as we look to come in and use his flip card, the 3 strikes in 1 turn type of ability. The Shell allows us to survive that hit with the tough ability. And so that is our deck. That's what we're doing battle with today. Let's get back into this Lulu adventure. See how it goes. All right. Give me one of them powers, please. So what do we got? Lurk, always a good one. We have a fairly cheap deck here, so we can look to take advantage of Lurk. What you tend to see with this style of deck and the kind of common strategy is we want to have a very low curve, which we already start with the Bakai and the Steadfast Elkin. But then if we're going to come in and start playing a bunch of fairly expensive equipment, we need our dudes to be cheap. Right, and so we tend to try and keep our curve very low. As far as our deck is concerned right now, all of our units except Aatrox qualify for the Lurk, so I think that should be a reasonable start. All right, on to battle with the Sparring Student. All right, some 1-drops. You get to stick around. Maybe we can predict into an equipment or something, or just find one. Either way. Here we go. What do we got? There's an equipment. Aatrox can hang out in the deck for a little bit. We're not going to be using him anytime soon. All right, though. Fast start against the old Sparring Student. What do we got now? Here's where the Aatrox comes in. Just get those extra stats happening. Fairly questionable attack, I'll give you that, though. It could have. I didn't stop to think about that too much. I assumed the game was going to drag on a little bit longer, given that opponent had a blocker. I didn't expect him to attack as 1/1 into all of our 2 health units, but we could have tried to predict a cheap unit to the top of our deck, hit a Lurk, and gotten a kill that way. So we could have maybe won with an open attack here, but I did not expect an attack to be coming in, just straight up losing the unit, so I didn't try to push that one forward. All right, though. All of our equipped units are ready. We got this this Bakai with the life, or the mana stealing thing, and so we'll get quite a bit of value out of this Furious Wielder here. It's almost free. It's only going to cost 1 mana at the end of the day. But see how that goes. Here we are. GG. We did just pick up the pickaxe on these Keeper of the Boxes. They were initially, kind of nice, giving us a way to lifesteal into the later game. But now that they start with the pickaxe, it's a meaty unit right from the get-go. All right, what do we got here? Not really interested in any of these. Like, the Heedless Resurrection can be fine if we expect our Aatrox to die. But I really don't think he's going to be dying in this match. Otherwise, the Training Pit's probably a reasonable way to close out these games. The first time an ally of 5-power attacks rally, just give us the opportunity to get double attacks in. It's typically just, a win more card. We shouldn't need it to win any of the games, but it'll be fine. It'll be all right. What do we got here? Got a cheap 1-drop with Renekton. I'm kind of interested in that. Otherwise, we don't have the spells for Jace. Nasus could be interesting, but we already have the expensive 6-cost champion in Aatrox. I don't want to load up our curve too much, so Renekton is good. Down at the bottom, we got Solitary Monk that lets you cut cards out of your deck. Up at the top, we have the Healer, also lets you cut cards out of your deck. So let's just head up top. So, round start, stun the player's weakest unit. Got it. Okay, reasonable enough. I could see getting rid of one of these Aegiuses, but having the two equipments for the 2 units is probably a decent enough deal. Better one in the Darkened Staff. Lets us cheat out our mana a little bit. Oh, and he just stuns our stuff? Ooh, that's lame. It's not the kind of game I want to play. Alright. Our Keeper of the Box is fearsome though. He's got the free attacks in. Man, thinking of things like Arachnoid Horror. spending their life as a 3/2 fearsome with no other abilities, and then seeing this guy come in with the bigger stat line and just go in super mode with the equip. It's a sad day for things like Arachnoid Horror. Well, we can load up the staff on the dude, but it's just going to get stunned at the start of the turn.
Now we've got the upper hand.
Violence, chaos, and destruction.
All right, Renekton. That's going to work out. Get the big dinosaur going in here. We lose out on our big unit, but that's okay. We're not really at risk of dying here. Renekton should be doing enough to close this game out. We can add a fresh Darken next turn and then have Aatrox ready 2 turns from now. We're finishing up the day at max health. That's all that really matters here. You don't want to attack? Last opponent attacked. He can just block his 3/2 with our 3 tough. Alright, well here's the way to do it with the training pits. I was a little worried this turn that if we just like open attacked with the Ruthless Predator, that opponent would have a concussive palm, but now that we get to come in with the rally from the training pits, we can end this one pretty easy. Homecoming, same deal as a concussive palm. Oh man. Cats wanting to hang out. Alright, we're good. We're ready. So what do we got here? Just a bunch of garbage. But whatever we take here, we're just going to cut out of the next one, right? We're about to go up to the healer. Most of our deck is fine in the sense that it all plays well with the lurk or it's an equipment. Nothing too expensive to look to really remove. I'm okay with the trading pits in here, and so I'm just going to get rid of the Bakai. Doing? Oh my god. Got a cat on each side of the door. This is going to end in fights. End fights. All right, up against the Herald of Spring. Gonna look for these cheap plays. Got a 1-drop and an equipment. Good start. Good stuff. Oh my gosh. Cats everywhere. Does anybody want a cat? You can have one of these. I assure you they're delightful. Alright though. Hitting the Darken attack, cheapening up the cultists, quite good. We can load up the Darken Aegius this turn after the Attune comes in. Ready to just pop off now. Fortunately can't lethal right away, but I think this game's pretty much done.
Where I go, carnage follows.
Trevor's not the combat mastermind that he's really looking for here. All right, first Aatrox of the battles. Better get some attacks in. You're right. You're right. Well, that's one way to play the game. I guess opponent was wanting to make sure that we could cast the World Ender. Oh no, we're going to be 1 short. We're only going to have 6 mana this round. Fine. Alright, there we go.
Crack their bones, then we feast.
Right, into the champion items. Get Aatrox loaded up. What do we got here? Fresh equipment and the Darkened Fan? I wonder if this always... it doesn't always start with the Cutlass. This is just what's been happening in recent memory, but... Good addition to the deck. On to the Aatrox. Don't really need any of this. Guess we'll give him Barrier. It's like he already has the Tough. He doesn't need Barrier that bad, but it's going to be better than those other options we have. Into the powers. Cards you draw this round cost 1 less. Sounds good. Cheating on mana is something really gives us an assist. And then Exhaust is kind of nice. We do have the Renekton's in our deck. Our units are typically big enough to just not worry about it, though. What about Parallel Convergence? Start the free attacks? That's probably where we want to be. Alright, I'll take all the copies. We'll leave the Exhaust behind. I don't think we need to focus in too much on Renekton. Is there anything expensive to cut now? We could look to cut the Training Pits now that we picked up the Parallel Convergence. We don't need like 5 separate rally cards. I think that's good. On to battle with Fizz. So, the round start, you refill all players' spell mana. Get those equipment into play on the cheap. Right, well, that's a pretty reasonable start. It's like, I'm starting to consider if we want to just mulligan away Renekton. He's not an equipment, and so he's a little slow, but I think this is okay. Tidal Wave. Alright, dude. Gotta be all lame with your removal spells. So what do we got? Bakai on the free, on the cheap. It's a pretty good deal. We'll pick Aatrox just to give him the stats. Now we can Cultist. Have the fresh amount of mana here ready to play all of our equipment. Should be good to go. How you gonna deal with that, Fizz? You're just not. you're just gonna fold, roll over, and die. It's a strategy. So many keywords on this stuff. Look at this guy. It's easier for me to see without pulling it up. We've got Lifesteal, Fearsome, Lightning Bolt, whatever Lightning Bolt is, Lurk, Impact, and an equipment. Not a bad day for old Keeper of the Box. Now we just get a bunch of free attacks. This game's just done this turn, right? I will take my free rally. I was hoping to get some Aatrox on the board this turn, but it's all going to go on the Convergence. Don't mind if I do. Interesting. You don't get your equipment when you do this. Good to know. I've never run into the parallel convergence plus equipments in the same deck. We're not playing Echoes anytime around here in Constructed, right? it's not my style, so haven't run into that just yet. What do we got now though? Aatrox with the spell shield, sure. Sounds nice and powerful. Don't want to play our 6-cost unit and have him just get hit with Homecoming. And here I always love Crush. This is a very powerful one, especially as we have these champions like Aatrox, to where you spend your 6 mana on the unit, you get your big boy on board, you attack, your opponent blocks with the 1/1, and you don't do anything. Crush solves all of those problems. So very happy to add that one in. Looking up further, there's Smooth Soloist. This lets you pick a new power. And then at the bottom, we have an item chest. Let's go for the powers. I don't think we need to add any more cards to our deck at this point. So, on to the Swole Squirrel. All units have. That's ours and the opponent's. Strike. Double my power. Pretty good thing to have when all your units have Overwhelm. If you get into a second combat with a unit, it's just lights out. Right, Renekton turning up. He's wanting the most of this world. He wants to be able to play. So just quit mulliganing me every game. Alright, well, let's load up the Darkened Staff. I don't think we'll need stats this turn. It's not like he's going to be dropping a 3-4 on us, so we can bank up a little bit of mana. Should get us a little bit more lined up in terms of equipping Renekton or playing our spell. So what do we got? Renekton can block here. Another block's just going to kill off our units, but there's a reasonable chance with this double-powered Renekton next turn we just get a big OTK. Ew. Well, that's gross. Uh-oh, I'm a little worried now. A little worried. We'll have the fresh Renekton, I guess, but he's not going to have those double stats. Lose out on our Ruthless Predator as well. Life's tough, man. So we'll stop there. Could we have actually just won it there? I didn't stop to see how much... We didn't have enough mana to do the double Furious Wielder. That's how I was looking to finish that off. If we get the double strikes, and then the Wielder comes through to... Give Renekton quadruple attack, right? He's going to be huge. 20 attack Renekton. There'll be a 40 after the strike on the squirrel. So many. So many stats. Who can do the maths? That's what it's all about right there. So give me that 44 power Renekton. Battle. All right, GG. So what do we got? Quick wraps onto the Bloodthirsty Marauder is quite good, giving our 1-drop quick attack. I'm on board there. Into the Soloist. Are these powers any good? You can add in some Chrono Breaks just to go along with the rest of our Echo cards. I guess that's fine. Could give the stuff Fury. Let's go with the Chrono Breaks. Get the big time plays. So shop into shop, not that great, but maybe there's something neat to purchase. Doesn't really look like it. I mean, Siphoning Strike is pretty strong with the likes of Aatrox and Renekton. Maybe we're okay to have some of these in our deck. We're getting kind of clogged up with expensive stuff, but whatever, man. We're gonna make a giant unit. It's gonna feel good. And so onto the Gringblade Caretaker. When either player summons a unit, give it barrier this round. Gotta make sure we can draw some of these cheap units now, since we just loaded up our deck with a bunch of dumb stuff. Getting the Siphoning Strikes and the Parallel Convergences, just so many situational cards. This hasn't been an epic deck building trial, a very nice how-to. This has just been a let's make a highlight reel kind of kind of collection. All right, but see, we can cast some of this expensive stuff now. One of these cards is going to get reduced. We're going to get a bonus spell mana back from the Keeper. It's not terrible. We'll be Siphoning Striking before you know it.
Rivers shape the land and give it life.
Can we just win the game with the Chrono Break? Is that how easy it is? Oh, hang on. This one's dumb. I don't want this one. It's just, I guess it's a rally. We'll probably win the game with the rally. I thought we were going to get a lot more cooler stuff out of that, though. The cool plays aren't coming along with the Chrono Break. All right. Alright, well, we'll at least take down his unit. We can lead out with this Ruthless Predator next turn, be pretty close to getting lethal. If not on the first attack, well, not on the first attack, we're definitely short there, but we should be good on the second one. Alright, we got some mana and stuff. Rally. Got the mana for the Siphoning Strike if that's what it's going to come down to. Let's take it. Let's make a strike. We even lethal this turn? Oh, okay. We had the lurk damage. That's where we're going to get big enough. Oof. All right. GG. There we had almost there, almost up to that final battle. So more stuff for the Bloodthirsty Marauder, sure. 1 mana quick attack challenger is a pretty good deal. On to the item chest. That's the Bakai. I thought it was going to be just another Bloodthirsty Marauder, but it's not. Putting barrier on the keeper of the box sounds okay to me. On to the card cutting. Anything expensive down here? Let's get rid of this, where are you at, Chrono Break. That's the one I don't want. Oh, we picked up the power that shuffles them into our deck. Oh, that's kind of lame. Let's get out the Siphoning Strike. I had high hopes for it, but it turns out it's a little bit too expensive. And so, round start, transform the player's strongest follower into a 1/1 squirrel, and then you silence it for the round. Now, the thing to remember with the silences is, if you have an equipment, you still get to use the equipment on your unit. It doesn't get taken away. So if we have a Darken Aegis on somebody, it gets silenced. It still gets to keep the 1/1 and the tough. All right, let's get these quick attack challenge and lurking Bloodthirsty Marauders out here. Get them off to a good start. I don't know about that sequence, Lulu. I probably would have let somebody attack first. Just once, maybe. Just once. All right, we got ourselves a good block if he wants to come in. Chooses not to, but still looking good. See, he maintains the tough and then the overwhelm because that's a the overwhelm is kind of a global ability. I see these parallel convergences and it's like, well, can we win the game this turn? Is this just a freebie at this point? We're close. We're close. It's nice with the plunder. Let's send them in. These are pretty much just free, right? We have the Darken equipment out here, so we'll get the mana back. Let's save the other one, though. We're not exactly at lethal. It seems like opponent would probably be kind of interested in just throwing away their Lulu, but we're going to be much stronger on this round now when we have the Renekton out here. Come on, bud. You want to be on the internet? Kitty. Right, he's right here at the end. He made it right before it was done. Says, "I'm glad you're not speedrunning this." You can't have those distractions mid-video. All right, though. Lulu down. Here comes Renekton. I assure you, this battle is over with. Ooh, and a lurk. Did the lurk hit our Renekton? Oh, he is a 3-cost unit now. Because he got reduced by our power. Pretty sweet, bro. Pretty sweet. I'll give you a staff so you can be a Darken before it's all said and done. That's it. That's gonna do it. I think we're gonna win. 11 into 5. GG. And so, you know, not a bad set of battles. I know we got a little bit a little bit off track with our deck building there. We were going for some highlight reel kind of stuff instead of constructing a reasonable deck, but I think we hit on a lot of the highlights of the Aatrox builds. You're looking to keep your units cheap. If you can pick up additional Darken equipment, then that's all good and well. And then the strike cards are a little bit better than things like Mystic Shot, since we get the additional bonuses out of our various abilities, whether or not it's the Aatrox or the champion power that we have. Nonetheless, not bad. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.